So you want to start training, you want to start running, you want to start weightlifting, whatever. One big problem is the fact that a lot of you guys that's been active in the past, when you're starting your training again, you think that you're at the same place as when you left off. For weightlifters, this might not be such a big problem. If you want to lift 300 kilos in a deadlift, you know, you just can't pick it up, so problem solved. Problem is when you're starting to run. It's the fact that even if you're in super poor condition, you can try to run a marathon. You won't be able to run for 2 weeks, a month, whatever happens to your knees. The injuries can be very, very severe. What you should do is make a plan where you want to be at. The next week, you're adding another 500 meters. What happens is you have progressive overload. This is the most efficient thing and most used thing to increase your fitness level and get you where you want to be in whatever time frame you have. Remember, start slowly, work your way there. One controversial question: should I eat before or after I'm running? You're the only person that can actually answer that question, because if eating and then running makes you feel like shit, then obviously eat after you ran, right? If it makes no difference, then you have the answer right there. Then, you know, who cares? Do you burn more fat if you don't eat or if you do? Well, a lot of things are placebo effect. So if you feel better if you're not eating, then don't eat. If you feel like you're running out of energy when you're running, when you don't eat, then of course you have to fill your belly with something to get that energy so you can finish the run. The winter is coming to an end. This means that a lot of you guys will go outside, start running. And what I want to make sure is that you can do this for the entire spring, the entire summer, and the entire autumn or fall, whatever you call it. One big thing that people don't think about: when you're running, most people relate to the fact that they have to have legs that are in good shape. What you don't realize is the fact that your leg is attached to your hip bone. If you want to remove some of the loads you're putting on your legs, which are putting loads on your knees and ankles, you need to build a stronger hip. One of the best ways is to work with band, because bands gives you increased resistance the further you drag it. This means that in a scenario where you're weak at the bottom and stronger at the top, this means that where you're weak, the band will not give you a lot of resistance, and the further you drag it, meaning you're getting stronger, the band will increase the resistance. So first you have the sidewalk. This should be done between 5 and 15 steps to one side and 5 to 15 steps to the other side. Normal thing for this is to start with your weaker side, or in this case, your weaker hip, and then move to the stronger so that I can adjust the left to whatever my right side can handle. So then we move on to the marching. You put the band between your feet again. This time you can use a stronger band because you're probably stronger in this movement than you are with the side steps. So we just march in place and we lift your knees high. This will work the front of your hips. It's like a running movement, and it's very nice for your hips to build more power this way and also decrease the chance of injury. Most of the time we don't get injured at the start of the run. Is when we get tired, you get bad form, you get bad technique, etc. You start to lean forward. Suddenly, if you're leaning forward 10 centimeters, the pressure and the load you're putting on your knees every step is insane, because they're used to a certain load, and suddenly you're leaning forward, and this creates a high risk of injury. First of all, we want to do the warm-up, right? So warming up is very good. You can do easy things like swinging your legs. Just make sure that you're not flexing or bending your lower back. Last, working on your calves. You're thinking that, well, you know, I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't want to get big calves. Well, the thing is that you're using your calves a lot when you're running. So giving them a little bit more strength is only the right thing to do. Easy things like toe lifts, calf raises. The sled is also an amazing tool. And since you're going backwards, you're using your hamstrings and your knees in a different manner than if you were walking or running forward. Go outside, have a good time. Remember, the best way to get rid of your injuries is to never get them in the first place. Have a nice day. Thank you for watching. If you are wondering about anything else, don't be afraid. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's go.